Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn and Sagittarius love reading, and this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take what does. If it does not, leave what does not. Then it was not meant for you. It was meant for someone else. All right, so I have my rose quartz stone for some love energy for the reading. I have my romance card. I have my romance angels. I have some tarot. We'll get some clarifiers and close out with probably an animal oracle. All right, so let's see what's going on here between Capricorn and Sagittarius. Capricorn and Sagittarius. Oh, we had one flip over. So we had this one. And we have forgiveness. Stop focusing your energy on past events, for life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. All right, so forgiveness. Let's get a romance angel. For Capricorn and Sagittarius, what? All right, that one. That one. Heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So that kind of goes back with the forgiveness, right? Talking things out, working things out, right? Those I would say definitely go together. Let's get some tarot. Sometimes it's hard to have those heart-to-heart conversations because you're like, I'd rather just ignore it. All right, I feel like that one wants to come out. All right, so what do we got going on here between Capricorn and Sagittarius? What's going on here? So we had the World, and we had the King of Pentacles, the Hierophant, Four of Wands, Knight of Swords, Temperance, Strength card, Four of Swords, and yeah, Ten of Pentacles. I love it. So for overall energy, we have the Ten of Pentacles, and usually in the cards, it's about a chest that's opening up and there's all these pentacles in there. But I really like this deck because it's about he's putting his coins into his jar one day at a time, one at a time, or it's he's taking them out one at a time, and that's however you look at that. But it's not, I feel like it goes with the overall energy. It's just kind of taking it day by day, right? Having that forgiveness, having that heart-to-heart conversation, working things out, figuring out how you feel, and then having that conversation and being patient for things to work out. Sometimes we're like, oh, I just want everything. I'm not patient. I just want to have the answers now. But sometimes it's something that takes time, right? Within relationships, it's things that have to develop, things that you have to work through. You know, if it's something that you feel hurt, it's like it's going to take some time to get past that. You know, it's going to take some time to work on that, but it's having that faith and that belief for that energy to move forward. I feel this right here, I feel is very grounding energy. It's like the King of Pentacles is somebody who's very reliable, somebody who's patient, somebody who doesn't want to rush into it, somebody who's very reliable and very grounded. And the Hierophant is about having it could represent a long-term relationship. It could also I also feel connects back to the King of Pentacles, where it's very grounding energy. It's having a very strong base, a strong belief, right? That can be built upon, feeling like it's safe, feeling like it's good. Again, I feel like with the Four of Wands, that's that connection, that coming together, that's working together on something, that the two of you have to work together on this relationship, that it's not something that only one can work on and one's going this way and the other one's going that way. It's something that you have to connect together and then move together, right, within the relationship. We have the Knight of Swords, Temperance, Strength, and the Four of Swords. Again, that's what I was saying, is about something that's taking time. Temperance is about being patient. We have the Four of Swords, which is like resting and taking your time and to find that clarity, not rushing, processing your feelings, not kind of skimming over how you feel, but processing those feelings, and then being able to have those conversations, being able to figure that out and feel confident in what it is that you have to say, and feeling confident that you can talk to the other person and express how you feel and they're not going to judge you, right? That's what a relationship partnership is feeling confident that the person that you're with is not going to make you feel uncomfortable about what it is that you have to say, right? That's how relationships grow. That's how relationships evolve. That's that learning and growing together. You have to do that together in a relationship. Otherwise, it's not going to work. If one person's moving one way and one's moving the other way, then you're just going to move apart. So I feel like it's coming together to create that strong base of this relationship, and not adding wands onto your back, right? Not adding these things and not discussing them and not having those conversations, not saying, oh, I just don't want to deal with it, I'll just ignore it, it'll go away. But that's how we've gotten all these 10 of Wands on our back, is because we've not had those conversations. We've not come face to face with those things that we need to deal with. Four of Swords again, right? So Four of Swords twice. So it's taking that rest. Maybe it's each of you having that time to yourself to figure out what it is that you want in this relationship and thinking things through, right? And figuring out, where do we want to go within this relationship? Knight of Pentacles, love it. Positive direction. I feel I love this card. In this deck, this is my favorite card because I love the greens, I love the golds. You know, it's about that positive movement, but it's slow, steady, right? Knight of Pentacles, the horse is kind of standing here. So it's like not rushing into anything, being patient and realizing that there are, you know, sometimes we feel like our relationship moves forward and we're like, yeah, and it's good. And then all of a sudden, sometimes we feel like our relationship is kind of stagnant, like it's kind of stuck and it's slowing down. And that's what relationships are. Any type of relationships, friendships, partnerships with family members. It's like we kind of have these ups and downs and fast and slow movements within the relationship. But it's like being positive and working through, like the fast when it speeds up and when it slows down. Nine of Cups, I love it. I knew it. I knew I felt positive energy between the two of you, right? The Nine of Cups. What is your goal? What is your wishes? What do you want to have happen in this relationship? This is something that you have to think about. And then it's taking those actions to make that Nine of Cups happen. This is just temporary, what you're going through right now. This is just temporary. This is something that you can work through. And like I said, we have those times in our relationship where things kind of slow down and things feel like they're standing still. And it's like, okay, let me look around. Let me see, what is it that I need to discuss? What is it that I need to figure out? How am I going to get some of these wands, if not all of these wands, off my back? Are there things that I need to talk about? Are there things that I need to do, right? Ten of Swords. How are we going to get these swords off of me, right? How are we going to turn these swords around and get rid of these swords? I feel like with the Ten of Wands and the Ten of Swords, you have a lot weighing on your shoulders. You have a lot that you want to discuss and you need to work through. I kind of feel like with Capricorn and Sagittarius, I kind of feel like you both kind of go in your corners and you kind of ignore things. And you don't talk about things because you don't want to stir things up. Like you don't want to create problems. So you're like, oh, let's just sweep it under the rug. I kind of feel like that's what kind of goes on between Sagittarius and Capricorn. Like you each don't, like because you care about each other and you don't you don't want to cause problems, but there are things that are bothering you that you don't want to talk about. So it's like, okay, like we need to have this heart-to-heart conversation and get this out in the open and get some of these wands and swords off of our back. I'm feeling one more. King of Wands, right? Learning from this situation and learning like, hey, we can't keep doing this. We can't keep piling up our wands and our swords and then it comes to a point where it's a problem. This is kind of like, I feel like it's the new start, the new look to this relationship. It's like kind of you both are realizing that, hey, this is the changes that we have to make. And even though we don't want to hurt each other, we need to make sure that we keep communication open. And having that forgiveness, right? Because that forgiveness is there. Stop focusing your energy on past events, for life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine, right? What are your goals in this relationship? What are your dreams? Where do you see this relationship going? Where do you want this relationship to go? And then taking those actions to make it happen. You can't just think things. You have to have those heart-to-heart conversations. You have to talk about those difficult things. You have to deal with these wands and these swords. You have to. You can't keep sweeping it under the rug. Otherwise, this Nine of Cups is not going to come true, right? It's not going to happen because there's going to be all of this resentment towards each other, this frustration, this buildup. All right, because we had the first card that kind of fell out was the World card, right? And I feel like it's being able to get past this situation. Like, I feel like you're going to be able to. But it's taking that time to figure out what is your Nine of Cups, really, for each of you, where you see this relationship going. Like, what do you want from this relationship? And then again, taking those actions, having those heart-to-heart conversations, working through things. All right, so let's get, well, chameleon spirit, act as if in time. Swan spirit, time for a deep dive. Exactly, right? Time for a deep dive to figure out what it is that you want to have happen. And I feel like it's not being that chameleon, right? Not putting on, right, changing your colors just to keep the peace. It's like showing your true colors about how you're truly feeling, right? What do you truly want? What is your true Nine of Cups within this relationship, and taking that deep dive and figuring out that direction that you want to go. And, you know, maybe you both have walls up, right? Maybe you both have walls up and you're not really able to connect with the other person, and it's time for you to realize that is this the person that you want to have your Nine of Cups with? So you have to start letting those walls down and getting rid of those wands and swords. Definitely something to think about. All right, thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.